Hey again, everybody. I'm a little bit chilly. There's a heat advisory for, I think, the whole weekend. So I've had the air conditioning on even before we need it, just so that the house doesn't have to have as long to cool down. And I'm cold as a result. But hey, have a dark storm. We're going to try to pick up where we left off this morning, which was that bug. I guess even just knowing that this is happening twice means there must be a listener that's kept around. We know that the call is... Wait, do we know that the call is happening twice? I don't actually know. Hey, reformulate. I have also kind of forgotten some of the context. So let's try to come back into this, figure out what's happening here. So I have a breakpoint here. I don't care about this. Yeah, remove, doesn't matter. Hey, Joss. On shop upgraded. Where was it? On attempt upgrade. Here it was. Yeah. I remember getting 2 call stacks, so it must have been called twice. And I think it started from the shop keep. Yeah. I think it was this. Okay. Oh, how about we do something? I didn't think about this. Let's do something even easier. This is why taking breaks is really helpful. We're just going to do a gd.print hello world. There. So now instead of upgrading the shop, it's just going to do this, and we can see, is it indeed happening twice? By the way, this might be a slightly shorter stream than usual. I might only make it be about 2 hours. I think a friend might be coming over, and she's visiting from out of town. And I don't know when I would get to see her, if not for maybe today. So hopefully we can make some good progress here. All right, so we have this. I click this. I click upgrade. It says hello world. Great. Now I load. I think that might be a different problem. Not sure if separate. If you have a dialog box open when you load a game, it seems like it throws an error. I don't know if we're going to do anything about that just yet. But maybe we should. I'm going to clear the console and we're going to click this and click upgrade. It only printed once. Maybe I'm just double clicking the button or something. That would be kind of sad. Built the keyboard for the office last week, used it this week. Feels good. Super quiet switches. Nice. What kind of keyboard is it? Man, I thought it was so clever doing this. Although maybe, let me try that again. Because I hit another bug before that, and that can alter the state such that we're not actually testing properly. No, this is happening even if it's not open. Shop keep. Upgrade shop system notification. Okay, I see what's happening. We're getting the pre-delete notification after we've already deleted this, so this thing won't work. Nodes to testeroni. So delete that, delete that. Yeah, let's try that again. GMMK Pro, Echo Fairy switches, different backplate and stabilizers. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the GMMK Pro. It's one of the keyboards that I have. And I think part of the reason why is I think the switches I have in it probably suck or need to be cleaned. So it's just not reliable to type on. I guess other than that, it's fine. All right, well, now it loads properly. Now we click this button. Yeah, it says hello world only once. So it's not that it's being triggered twice. And what about that thing about the dialog box being open? Was that even a problem? I don't think so. Yeah, I think this was just a separate thing that I don't need to focus on. All right, well, Blub had suggested earlier that I override dispose. The shopkeep system is what's being disposed. I know what's disposing it, though. That's the problem. I don't know what's keeping a reference around to the old thing. Or it's upgrade shop system, excuse me. Upgrade shop system. I don't even know if we can override dispose. I think we can override. Yeah, there it is. All right, so we're just going to call base.disposing and then I guess set a breakpoint here. We can't set a breakpoint there. What? Oh, do I just need to refresh? Yeah. Just swapped with a different switch. Yeah. Yeah. I used QMK. I tried their software. Something was wrong with it when I was using it. They had had a lot of problems launching the keyboard, I think. All right, so this calls dispose, and this is coming from... Oh, it doesn't even tell you what it's coming from because it's a lot of native code, I guess. Yeah, that's too bad. But I'm pretty sure I know what it's coming from. I think it's coming from trying to switch scenes. It has to be coming from that. Yeah. And that's it. That's that's where we end up. And now the next thing we would do is hit the bug, right? Except for we won't hit a bug because I cut out the code and just put hello world in its place. So dispose gets hit. I know about this. Great. We go through. We click this. And it should have just broken, I guess. Yeah, can't access the dispose object. Upgrade shop system. So we're definitely calling into the old one. We somehow have a reference to the old upgrade shop system, even though it was disposed. Excuse me. Hey, selling games. Never realized how much you use the numpad. Always had keyboards at home without it. Oh, I was just saying this to a friend yesterday. You could just, if you do get QMK, or even with a, maybe with whatever custom software they have, you could just make a numpad out of your keyboard. Like hold a key to make it into the number layer. I mean, that's what I do on this kind of keyboard too. Yeah. I'll have to remember it's selling games. Is that how I said it the first time? I never made my bridge note. Or I never made the pronunciations note. But I could add that here. Sell in games. Yeah. Already disposed when we go to upgrade. Somehow have a reference the old upgrade shop system. So how is this possible? I guess here is where we already have an error. At this point, the system is already disposed. It'd be great if there was something to let us see what the node reference is. I mean, the nice thing reformulate about doing that is it's less hand movement. You don't have to buy another device. You don't have to take up more space on your keyboard or on your desk, or also, I guess, on your keyboard. And it will give you another nudge toward QMK. All right, I don't need the breakpoint here anymore. I know this is being disposed. Where I need the breakpoint is here. And I wanted to see the call stack again. Let's close out of everything else that we have. I guess we already had the call stack there anyway. So this is the problematic call stack. Shortcuts out of a little WSD keyboard. Oh, nice, yeah. Yeah, I think if I ever didn't use this keyboard anymore, and I don't know why that would happen, probably because I upgraded the keyboard, I could always use this as like a macro pad. Well, I guess programming it would be kind of annoying because I had to keep flashing new firmware. All right, where are we coming from when we get this? Display greeting dialog box. I want to look at that. We're listening on here to pressed. That calls over to this, which gets a shopkeep component. What is this shopkeep component? Where does this come from? Huh. Something else adds this? This new shopkeep. Okay, that's not a thing. New, I guess, shopkeep component. I'm confused by this. Where does this come from? Something has to set this. It's just, okay, maybe it's where we make a shopkeep. Shopkeep component. Here it is. Gets added here. This is this problematic? This is my keyboard. Yeah, that's a corn keyboard. And yeah, I'm making a game. Here are some commands for both of those things. The game, it had all been going well, and then I ran into a bug, and I cannot figure out what the cause of it is exactly. Or like I know the cause, I just can't figure out where it's happening. I am trying to call a function on something that's been disposed. And man. So, okay, if I put a breakpoint here, we know that the shopkeep is okay. I guess that's important to know because that would mean it's just that we're getting an old system. Let's see, is that what's happening? Is this fine? It has to be fine. I already said this earlier. It has to be fine. Yeah, this is fine. Dry raid. If only. Just spray all the problems away. Can of bug spray. All right. The shopkeep component, let's take a look at that. Is that disposed? No. Nor is the shop within that shopkeep component. So all of those things are fine. This is called with the shop in the upgrade shop system, but at this point, this thing is what's been disposed. So how do we get the reference to that thing? That's what I need to figure out. There's an event. There's an event. That's it. It's just that there's an event. And we have this here. Okay. The shop system listens for an event. There somehow has to be, okay, so here's what I think we can try. I think what we can do is we can get rid of the signal here. And instead of this on attempt upgrade, let's just make a global thing. I'll just store it in the game saver for now. What is this? What is this calling to? The upgrade shop system? Okay, yeah. So game saver, just to give it something, some place for it to stay. We'll say public static upgrade shop system, upgrade shop system. Yeah, and get set. Cool. Now, when a shop system is made, let's put it inside the game saver. Then, when we want to call on attempt upgrade, we just don't do that anymore. On attempt upgrade. Yeah, there's no signal for this. We're just going to instead directly invoke the shop system's, what's it called? Try upgrade? I don't remember. Try upgrade shop. Here it is. That's not a thing. It's just making that up. Hey, Mohammed. Welcome into the stream. What is this called? What is it called? Invoke. Man, I don't know where this is because I commented it out. Here it is. On shop attempt upgrade. On shop attempt upgrade. That. And now what? That's private? Yeah, not anymore. Now it's public. All right. So what this means is that we're not going to use a signal. We're only going to ever have the new reference. This will probably fix it, but I don't think this will tell us anything. Yeah, in fact, I'm not really sure why I did this. But let's just try. All right, did it work? It's gonna move VS Code on me probably. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, but like I said, this doesn't really tell us anything. Oh man. So yeah, we know that there's something there's still something that has that signal. Somehow the old shop system is still listening for signals. I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how to fix it at this point. So we got to put this back to what it used to be. Yeah, this would be back here. Oh, what a puzzle, though. What a puzzle. There must be... Okay, the only thing I can think is that somehow there's a reference to a component that was never added to a tree. Something like that. Okay, you know what? Let's try one other thing. Let's go into Godot. There should be no bug here. Do we have any orphaned nodes? Because if we do, that could possibly be what's causing this. Something's not getting freed that should be getting freed. Let's take a look. Debugger, monitors, orphan nodes. All right, now we press that button. Are there any? Somehow no? How is that possible? I don't know how that could be possible. I'm just not sure how this is happening. I put this line of code back in. This is the source of the problem, I guess. Somehow the old system is still listening for this. Wait. Did I try this already? gd.print. The event is being triggered. Let's just type an emoji to make it easier to find, and then just return from here. Yeah, I don't care if there's unreachable code. Then I want to run this. Because that shouldn't be a problem. It's only a problem when you try accessing things on it. So we load, we click this. And did it print twice? Oh, wait, it would print over here. Printed once. What? I'm so confused. Oh, nothing's invoking this. That's why. Yeah, nothing's invoking this. We just got to make it be invoked. And then, yeah, this. There we go. All right. Now I'm nearly positive it's got to be hit twice. It has to be. There's no way there's a repro without this. Yeah, there's a 2 there right now. How? How, though? That's the question. It's the old system listening. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. So first of all, how do we do C# Godot signals? Did we mix somehow the event listeners? That's one thing I could think of. Where to signal? Delegate. Okay, we explicitly use delegate for that. Because we did this somewhere. Customer has one. State has one. And that's it. It's just those two. Customer shouldn't matter. They don't have to do with shops. And the state shouldn't matter. Shopkeep doesn't use that. So I don't think it's a problem with that. Well, like I said, something's being kept around for this. And I guess Darkstorm said earlier we can figure out what is listening for this. We can try that. for each subscriber in get invocation list. This will tell us how this thing is working. On attempt upgrade get invocation list. Where is that supposed to be? Get invocation list. Event handler. Oh, there it is. Get invocation list. Returns the invocation list of this multicast delegate. I mean, I know this is going to be broken. Yeah. gd.print. I don't even know what I would do here. Like del invocation target. For each is not a thing though. All right. For each var del in this. All right. There we go. And then let's just try running this. I mean, I know this is going to print two things. I don't know if it's going to be helpful what it prints. Also, I guess I should see if we can print like 6 things from here. This I don't care about. This is not helpful now. Invocation target. Shop system.action, system.action. What? Oh, I think I understand. That printed twice. Yeah, that's expected. All right, if I run this another time, does it print 3 times? I think it is. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, it's not being removed. That part I know because otherwise we wouldn't be in this problem. I don't know why it's not being removed though. So I hit this once. It says the event is being triggered. Yeah, I load and then I hit it again. Now each time it's going to say it twice. I load and then I hit it again. And now each time it's going to say it 3 times. Yeah. Yeah. So we just keep adding on listeners and not cleaning them up. I just don't know how it's possible that they're not getting cleaned up. We're not unsubscribing, but I don't know why that's not happening. Maybe it's Godot. I think it's me doing something. I just don't know how. The entire scene tree is getting freed. That should unsubscribe from everything automatically. Yeah, and I had some code to unsubscribe myself. And even that didn't seem to work. When you get a shopkeep component, add on attempt upgrade. Yeah. And this is only being called, this is called what, once per shopkeep, and there are 3. So I guess technically it's being called 3 times. Adding on attempt upgrade listener to node. Like I said, I think that's going to just show 3 times even when I just open the program. Okay, that's surprising. That might be the problem. Why are we adding so many of these? Strange. Let's break in here and find out. Wait. Oh, of course. Yeah, no, it's in here is what I wanted the if. Yeah, I know we're adding tons of components. I want to see when we're adding shopkeep components. That should only happen 3 times. Oh, and I don't care about the breakpoint anymore. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So those are on all of the new shopkeeps, or on the shopkeeps, not new. So now I'm gonna, actually that's not even clear. Let's just hit load and see what happens. Oh, it's actually adding 2 listeners now? Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I had not even thought about that. Wait, but why would that be a problem? A different level of listeners being duplicated is this. Oh, because... Okay, I think I see. I think I see what's happening. ECS is like the only thing that's not being cleaned up here. I don't duplicate the system. It's that ECS has an on component added, and this is never added to any tree, so it never gets cleaned up. So it's actually on component added that's being called multiple times, I think. And we need to clear all of these. Is there a way to like C# clear all delegates? How to remove all event handlers? Get invocation list and just do find click minus equal. Set it to null. Oh, that should be enough to do this. All right, let's try this. Public static void testeroni. On component added. On component removed. Game saver. I'm not sure where we put this. I think here. We don't have a repro yet. Okay, this might work. Let's try. Oh, you're saying just listen to the signal? Yeah, I could do that. All right, so now we hit load. Yeah, now it's only adding 1 per thing. So now we get 1 event being triggered. Oh my God. What a ridiculous problem. All right, so now we search for that emoji. And put this back to what it used to be. And now there should be no bug. Oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that. I kept thinking there's something that's not getting cleaned up. It has to not be in the scene tree. And I just somehow concluded in my head that no, everything is in the scene tree. Yeah, now it's working. Wow. Well, I'll say this. Before lunch, I spent, well, like an hour and a half maybe. And after lunch, I've spent only half an hour. So probably taking a break really helped. Yeah. So are we leaking anything by doing this? Can you just set this to null? Because why do they do this? They do a minus equal. Oh, you can just write find clicked equals null. Wow. You just fixed that super quickly. I mean, it was half an hour that I've been streaming, and I pretty much started tackling this as soon as I started. Maybe we could say like 27 minutes. That's not super fast. And now we need to clean up, but cleanup is fine. Yeah, so this is going to be something like, well, wait, can we listen? We don't have an instance, so we can't listen to an event for this. Let me close out all this stuff. Town has a load game. Load game calls this. The only thing that listens to this right now is something like the town menu. So we need the town. I think I think we just need to put something into here. Just trying to think. Does this indicate any deeper problem? I don't think so. It's just if we ever have static listeners. Yeah. Yeah, call it clear listeners or something, yeah. I'm fine with that. I definitely want to add a comment for this. This should be called whenever. This is really kind of part of the town, I guess. Wait, why does this get ever added in the first place? Where do we do this? Component added. We have old delegates. The delegates are never cleared. Okay, I think that's the part I'm confused about. ECS is something that calls like a delegate.invoke. Why do the targets not clear themselves from this list? Because that's the issue, right? I guess because there's still a reference to it in the form of that target list. Because it's not like, yeah, all we're doing is freeing stuff. Yeah, we still have references. Okay, I think that's it. Everything that subscribes to something also has cleanup code to unsubscribe itself. Yeah, let's take a look at that because I agree. All right, so we have clear listeners. I'm gonna remove the call to this, which was in Game Saver. Yeah, so that's gone. So now there is no fix right now. And where we add on component added, we need to remove this as well. Wait, who listens for this again? These systems do? Yeah. So there should be something here. If I put something in pre-delete, it's not going to work though, right? Upgrade shop system. We have a pre-delete thing here that I can just uncomment. All right, would that have worked? This might break. I don't know. Let's try it. Hey, Lana, how's it going? Long time no see. Although that's mostly because I was on vacation and then sick for a very long time. Welcome in, everybody. I have been working on Skeleseller now for the last, I don't know, 2-3 months. And we made some pretty good progress. Last time everyone was here, you probably saw these characters just walking over the gray space. Now there's a navigation mesh being used and they only follow the paths. But the game itself, for those who haven't seen, you are running a town. It is mostly automated, the whole game. You start battles. The battles are just played out on their own. When you win them, you get items. And then your adventurers and workers will go over, pick up the items, drop them off in a shop, and sell them. And you use the money to upgrade your town and your adventurers. So that's the basic game loop. What we were just working on was the save system. And the save system is partially working. But then I encountered a bug that took a couple of hours to find. And now I'm just thinking of what's the best way to fix it. So the bug is when you load a game. So if I just click load, we have a bunch of items over here. I click upgrade. I think that fixed it. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is what we should be doing. Oh, man. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm not going to be streaming for probably too long today, maybe another hour and a half. And it's all going to be save system stuff. So not the most fun content to watch or to code, but it needs to be done. People expect there to be saves in the game. And Lana, if you're there, I hope your stream was good. Thanks again for the raid. So we could call this from everything. I wonder if, let's try something. How about instead of this, we have like a public static void ensure no listeners remain. All right, we could just say set these things to null, but we could get the invocation list of these. So on component added dot get invocation list dot count. Yeah. So this is how many. Actually, can we just, what is this? Can we just have like an arbitrary action node component taking an event? Say like it doesn't matter. I'm complicating things. This really doesn't make a big difference. So we'll say num on component added listeners or targets equals this. And then removed. And then if either one is greater than 0, throw an exception. There are still listeners. I'll just say there are this many listeners on that, and same general structure, this many listeners on this. There should be 0 on both. Make sure to remove listeners when cleaning up. Yeah. And why is this possibly null? Oh, because of this. An explicit conversion exists. This should be fine. Otherwise, we say 0. Use length instead of. Is that a thing? Okay. Okay, that's it. Now we could clean this up automatically. We could put this here. And that way there won't be any problems. Oh, I guess this would have to happen first. Yeah, we could do this. And that way there won't be any problems. Is there a way to figure out what the listener is? I guess we could go through the invocation list and see if there's anything helpful there. Yeah. This is just a safety check. All right, let's go through the invocation list and see. So if num on component add target is greater than 0, then for each target in this, or whoops, that's supposed to say in. And we don't need that to be a question mark anymore. We know this is going to exist. What are the details of this? How do we get information about it? I wonder, I don't think the toString is actually helpful. Let's just print it out. What, like dangling delegate remains? Like I said, don't know what this is going to have in it. Let's just put a breakpoint there. And then let's call this function from here. And let's get rid of the fix that I had from here. Okay, let's go try that. If this gives us any information that could help debug this in the future, then I want to leave it there. If it's not helpful, I don't even know how you would find this then, but yeah, let's press the button. It should have broken. Oh, object reference not set to an instance of an object. Ensure no listeners remain. Oh no. Line 239. Is this... Oh, right, because I delete it right there. Okay, my bad. Okay, there, that should fix it. Wasn't thinking. All right, there we go. So what's in target? What is this? Action node. Whoops. What even just said whoops right there? I don't think I pressed anything. What are you? Oh, there it is. Declaring type. Oh, super helpful. Yeah, so we want target.declaring type. What? Did that not exist there? Did I look at the wrong thing? Target.declaring type? Oh my goodness, where is this thing? Well, I was just hovering over this and I saw something interesting there. Where was it? Method? Where was I looking at that thing? Oh, you got to be kidding me. There, that method.declaring type. There it is. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Target.method.declaring type. There we go. Can we tell anything else about it? Oh, there it is. It's on component added to entity. Perfect. So nav system on component added to entity. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly the problem that we have. So this is where something was added. Wait. Is it? Target item display entities. No, this isn't it exactly. It's in here somewhere. We must have like on component added to. Yeah, it's in ready. Why doesn't it think it's in ready? Oh, I see. It's the, okay. I want the other side of this. No, wait, not the other side of this. I want the containing function, which might not exist because they might not keep track of that. Is there anything else here in method that tells us what we want? It doesn't really matter. If you know this, then you can find the call to the thing, but is there anything declaring type? This is the actual type, so this is not going to have anything helpful in it, will it? No, I don't think so. Any other things? Name, reflected type, turn parameter, anything? Method handle? No, I think that's it. Okay, well, that's fine. So we want to give the, what do I have here? The declaring type and then the methods something. The M name, what is it actually called? Name. So declaring type and name. Yes, cool. That's exactly what I want. These two things. Bloop. Let's copy this over to here. Oh, we're going to finally be able to move on. What is going on here? All right. So the way we're going to want to do this is here. And this, I guess we could say how many total there are. We could form some like giant error message out of this. Yeah. String error. That many listeners. There should be 0 on both. Make sure to remove listeners when cleaning up. Offending listeners, colon. And then we'll just add all of these here. Error plus equal this. Yep, and then curly braces. And a space, I guess. Yeah. And then technically we need to do the same thing for removed. I might want to make this a little bit easier. All right, let's try this again. And let's see, we should have a very descriptive error message. Except for no, we shouldn't because I didn't actually put an error right here. And now it's probably too late. Yeah. All right, so we hit load. This breaks in. We get a whole bunch of errors, blah, blah, blah. Let's just go over to here and see what error is set to. Error is really hard to read. Let's copy it from here. All right, there are 3 listeners on component added and 2 on removed. That's strange that those numbers don't match. Huh, well, maybe there's a reason for that. Should be 0 on both. Make sure to remove listeners when cleaning up, offending listeners. So the navigation system, the upgrade system, and the walk animation system. Oh, and the upgrade system doesn't care about removing. Yeah. All right. And now let's go clean them all up. And everything should be fixed. By the way, point the blub for suggesting this because I might have just moved on with the simple solution. All right, so let's start with the navigation system. We have these 2 things here. So we just do protected override dispose. And just copy this over to here. There we go. Then copy this general pattern to the other place, which I think was walk animation system. Looks good. And then the final one is upgrade shop system. I had it in notification. We're going to put it over here and we're going to delete this and delete all of this. Remove the redundant. I already have dispose up at the top, right? Yeah. Neodonis. I mean, we could set it all to null. I feel like this is a slightly better way of doing things. So now if I run this exact same thing, it should not give us an exception at all. And then we just need to clean up a whole lot of code. Did it work? No, there's still an error. What's the error? 3 listeners and 2 listeners. I guess dispose is too late. Oh, wait. No, it's not that it's too late. It's that I'm calling this function at the wrong time. Oh, man, this is practically impossible. Oh, it can't be in game saver. It needs to be in town. Load. Not even load. Not even, no, this won't work either because we've already, oh, darn it. We need to do it in the very, very first thing in the entire game. I think here will actually work. It can't be exit tree because we don't know that it's exited the tree because it's going to get freed or not. And it has to be when this thing enters the tree, actually. Checking the dispose parameter for true for your code. Yeah. And disposing. Yeah. Yeah. Why is this happening? Because of the order that things enter the tree. Okay, yeah. So we're going to have a problem here pretty much no matter what, aren't we? Well, I have the code. I just don't know where I can call it. If we do this, then the town is still going to exist. And we could free the town scene and then we'd make sure that no listeners remain and then we change scenes. I don't know if that's going to work. Is there some other way to do this? Because the problem is this both frees and creates the new one, and I need to have some gap in between the two where I can check to see if we cleaned everything up properly. I could think of one way we could do this. One thing we could do is no, this is kind of dumb, but I was gonna say we could set up the town the first time and just save how many listeners we had and then expect that same number the next time around. But yeah, I don't think that's a smart idea. I think the other way we could do this is we could call like town.get parent or town.free and then try changing the scene after that. We need to save off the scene tree here. tree equals town.getTree, and then try using it here. That might work. Yeah, something like this. I'm not positive. I think it did work. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Well. Yeah, there we have it. So, I don't really know what we say here exactly, but we explicitly free the town even though change scene to file will free it, because we need to make sure that we've properly freed all of our listeners. Great. Now we need a long comment on this thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess the comment's already kind of correct, but ensures that there are no listeners on events from this class. That's because this is a static class that won't be freed when we load a game. So any existing listeners will still be triggered even if they've yeah, they're on disposed objects, I guess, sure. This can lead to, yeah, sure, hard to debug issues. Okay. Oh. Now, the next thing, this is gonna stop the problem from happening. This is a hack to make sure further problems don't result. We force a cleanup of the listeners. You know what? This is fine. I don't know. I kind of want to clean this up. I wonder if you can just take in some arbitrary delegate. Like, that's what this is, right? A delegate. Do you still need all those checks? Yeah, because that way we know what we've done wrong. It's possible that at some point in the future we don't want to do this, and it's not the technically correct way of doing things anyway. I guess it will work. Yeah, we could have just these 2 lines of code and nothing else. Everything would probably be fine. I still think it's better to know where the offenders are, because it probably means we forgot to write a dispose of something else too. All right, so if we wanted to write a function for this, private static void foo, how do we take in, can you take in a delegate, T? No, that's not a thing you can do. Can we just take in an action that has any number of parameters? T.get invocation list. Yes, this is valid. Can we do this? On component added. Cannot convert from action to action. Yeah, I want, how do you do what I'm trying to do? I want to pass in any kind of action. Like, I don't care what this is. C# generic function, take in any type. Take any data. I don't, isn't it just action T? Maybe? Well, that doesn't work. Oh, we would call it with whatever on component has. Where's one type argument? What? Oh, I wanted like t comma whatever, something else. Yeah, but the problem with that is that then if we have 3 of these or something, yeah, I wanted to be able to take in any number of potential type arguments, I guess. And I don't know how you do that. Like all I care about is that it's some kind of action. You know what we could do instead? I guess we could just pass in the invocation list instead. That return, oh, capital D delegate. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we can delete this now. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Oh, okay. Well, that's it. I didn't realize there was a capital D delegate, even though it's clearly right there. All right, so this should really be somewhere else. And what we can do here is, okay, so it's kind of minor. I like that there's an arrow that just contains everything all at once. But if we wanted to make this a little easier, what we could do is we could have something like this where we call our like foo function over here with on component added and then on component removed. And maybe each one can throw an exception. Yeah, sure, whatever. Doesn't really matter. If there's an exception, there's an exception. Although then we're not going to get an opportunity to set these things to null. We'd have to like try, catch, log the exception. I think we just consider these to be errors. Yeah. If you don't clean something up, then it's just going to have an error. All right, so how about this? Before we do that, let's copy paste everything we have here and just put it in my stream of consciousness note. That way, if I need it, then I've got it. Some code I might want. Can you do, let me try something really fast. Okay. What a day. What a day. All right, where do we want to put this? We're just going to take in a function. We're going to have a function that checks to see if we've got any delegates. Maybe validators. Yeah, it's not exactly a validator, but I'll put it in here. Save it as delegate validators. Delegate validator. I don't like the name util. I think it should be avoided. There was a resource within Google when I worked there that explained why it should be avoided, and it did a really good job. For one, it's just utils could mean practically anything. Like if you think about almost any class you ever write, it could sort of be argued that it's a utility somehow. But it did a good job at explaining exactly why. Same thing with like manager, or I don't know, there were a bunch of other examples. Problem is, it was an internal only resource, and while I don't think the knowledge was really private, it's just general coding knowledge. I couldn't share it or save it. But there are probably a bunch of resources online about like programming, naming something util or manager. How to avoid calling everything a whatever. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't make a big difference. All right, so delegate validator is gonna do the stuff that we had in here. So let's copy this and go to our delegate validator. Something like cost functions. Yeah, where at least it's like, I don't know. This is, I guess it could just have been called cost utils or something like that. But I think it's a little clearer that it's like, all right, these are just some static functions that exist. But yeah, I think it's always tough to come up with different names. But yeah, putting MGR instead of manager isn't really a different naming convention. It's just cutting out some of the extra letters. I think the point is it's just not clear what a manager is doing exactly, because it could be doing practically anything. So validate delegate has no listeners. And then we delete this, taking a delegate. You can't actually call it delegate though, can you? D. We don't need generics. Paste this in, delete. And now this is going to be D. Does this, I don't know, maybe something like that. All right, on added. So we don't need this. We don't need this. There are listeners on, maybe we give a little description of the delegate. Delegate description. Okay. So added, delete this. Cool. I guess if this is equal to 0, less than or equal to 0, doesn't really matter. We can just return. And that way we can have all this stuff not tabbed in. All right. Then we rename this num targets. This isn't needed. Nice. Yeah. Then we call this from EZS. So we do delegate validator on component added ECS.on component added. We could use the name of the delegate. I guess the exception is going to contain that anyway. Yeah, let's delete this. Fine. No, you can't do name of when you have. Okay, yeah, you can't do that. Description is already in the invocation list. Yeah, all right, I'll just delete this. And we'll just look at the error message on a delegate when there should be 0. Okay, so delete this, and this should be removed. And now we can delete all of this stuff. Now, before I try this, I need to go make the code bad. Let's cut one of these out. There. And it should tell us exactly what the problem is, I hope. I'm going to copy this into the buffer so I can actually read it. It's not in red and surrounded by other text. So there are 1 listeners. Okay, I mean, that should say is, I guess, but I'm not going to worry about that. On a delegate, when there should be 0, make sure to remove listeners when cleaning up, offending listeners, navigation system, on component added to entity. So if this were me and I'd never seen this before, I'd go over to here. I'd search for on component added to entity. And I guess since I know it's a delegate, I'd search for this and I'd be like, oh, it's on component added. Yeah, I think that's enough information. Yeah. How about found? There. Pluralization bypassed. All right, then I think maybe we move this over to here. Ensures the delegate has no listeners. Otherwise, an exception is thrown. So there's no listeners on events from this class. That's because this is a static class. It won't be free when we load a game. Sounds good. Yeah, nice. Nice. Oh, what a time. Have I fixed everything? Make it pretty with new lines. I'm not doing that. Oh, protected needs to go after public members. Okay. That's probably going to be a problem in like 3 different classes. But now if I hit load, it should just work. Oh, I didn't realize I had a breakpoint set. Did it work? It's working. Oh, crashed. Why? I just tried loading like 12 times in a row. Program crashed with signal 11. Yeah, it might be allocating too much. Wait, that wouldn't make sense. What does signal 11 mean? This is the same thing. Do they say what it means anywhere? Huh. What is signal 11? Maybe you interrupted the load with another load. It might be. If I had any info on that error message, it would be helpful. Maybe a null exception. I don't know about that. Let me. Okay, if I load once, it works. If I load another time, okay. So it looks like it works. I can load any number of times. I just maybe can't load too many times in a row. Yeah, I think it's something like that. I probably need to debounce this or something. Yeah. How do we... Oh, I think I know how we could do this. Maybe I go to Game Saver and in load, if is loading, return. Yeah. Wonder if that'll work. Might not even be caused by this, but let's try it out. No, it's still crashing. Well, we could... Oh, this gave slightly more information this time. Get root. Get root probably doesn't exist because I'm in a case where I'm freeing something. Oh, maybe it's because we have an input handler thing here. Maybe I'm pressing home and somehow it's still going to this town even though I just freed it. I can't queue free it. But when we dispose this thing, we could get rid of... No, that probably... Exactly. I feel like this is a very narrow, what is it? Like, amount of jokes that can be made here. There was a set of jokes I wanted to write a while ago. What was it? Oh yeah, it was something, it was like this kind of setup. And then, you know, a punchline here. And I wondered how many jokes can you make out of this setup that are funny? Because I thought it was a funny setup for a joke at least. And I had a couple of funny punchlines at least. This was years ago. I don't even remember where they are. You have decided to take the shirt route. Yeah, so I think this only happened once we got to this case, this town.free here, followed by change scene to file. And I guess it's not enough to... I don't know. I don't even know if this is worth fixing because probably we're not going to have just a load key in the game. And maybe we even make it so that you can't load a game too frequently. Like Game Saver, instead of just having is loading, we could have a like last loaded. And if it was half a second ago, then you can't load again. Private static. I don't know how we're going to measure time because we're outside of Godot at this point. C# get time. I think we use a stopwatch. I Forgot exactly how this works. Accurately measure elapsed time. I don't need to accurately measure it. I can just get some like system time. Get system time in milliseconds. Date time.now. So is loading. Loading is already set. Daytime.now take. It's just, oh hey, there we go. All right, so private static. Yeah, it's just that I think something else isn't totally done even when we think we're finished loading. It's hard for me to know exactly what because this is happening in their code. Wait, right? I see Jason get data in here. Yeah, but I assume it has to do with the scene root not existing. So last load time equals 0. We don't need to do that. Last load time. The town needs to be able to say some like done loading thing. Is loading equals false? Yeah, this game saver dot done loading. Public. There. Just set it to false when town is ready. That's what I was doing originally. Like I said, that's not enough. And I don't know what it takes for it to be enough. So that's the last load time, and we're not going to let you load if you loaded too recently. So we need the current time. Long elapsed time equals the current time minus the last one. If elapsed time is less than like, yeah, a second. Disallow loading too rapidly. It crashes for some reason. All right, let's try that. So I'm just going to hammer the load key and we're going to see if it's still a problem. Yeah, you can only load once every second now. I doubt this is going to be a problem. I also doubt this will ever bother a user. We would need there to, oh, hey, it's saying loading even though it's not loading. We would need there to be a hotkey for loading. And by the way, even like 1 second is probably longer than we need it to be. This is probably fine. And let's go into town and get that whole loading from whatever. This can all be done here in Game Saver. Yeah. There. All right, now we just hammer the load key. Oh, now it's not printing a message at all. Oh, because we need it to be in the new town that we load, not in the old town. Okay, well, whatever. Just delete this. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can crash it, though. It's going to keep mashing. Oh, yep, you can. Okay, so 250 milliseconds is not long enough. Yeah, let's set this to 1,000. It didn't seem like it was happening then. And maybe it's worth looking into the crash and figuring out why, but I don't think this is going to be a problem in the real game because probably what we'll have eventually is a UI that actually has a load button and you have to click it. And if people can manage to get to that menu and click super fast and have some purpose for doing it, then whatever, we could queue it instead of blocking it. Fix it. Hello. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. Hope the raid was good. I'm working on a game called Skeleseller. And we have been working on the same, oh my God, the save system for a little while. I will show you the game as soon as this loads. Yeah. So yeah, you run a town and you've got adventurers and you've got yourself. You're the skeleton. You're a worker in the town and you send your adventurers to battle. The game is mostly automated. So you're mostly just sitting back. It's a chill, laid back game. Not a full idle game, I would say. in the sense that there's no infinite progression. There's no, like, I don't know, the like million damage at a time kind of thing. So once you win the battle, you get items in your town and then you go sell those. And like I said, it's mostly automated. So your characters are just bringing them to the right shop displays. And then these customers can go buy them. And then you can use the money that you get to level up your adventurers and stuff. And then put skill points in, hire more adventurers. So now we've got all 4 of the ones that are in the game: Rogue, Mage, Warrior, Cleric. It just crashes because you're resetting way too fast. Yes, although I don't know the deeper cause for it. It might be that it's trying to access a node that doesn't exist during that time. I don't know what would be trying to access that node. Like, who knows? And it's just probably not worth really looking into too much. Well, yeah. What are you working on? Fix it. All right, are we ready to check this in? I feel like we are. I don't even know what we were working on before all of this. What were we working on? We don't need this anymore. This should have 0 changes, right? Now it has 0 changes. Navigation system. Oh yeah, this can't go where it is. This is a pretty simple fix though. We just bump this down to the bottom of the class, right? Can private stuff go after protected stuff? Does it complain to me about that? Protected should come before private. Okay, fine. Oh man. Yeah, so we have to put it here. There's no other place in the class this can go. Yeah. And then same thing with upgrade shop system. This, we want to delete some of this. Dispose now. Oh, dispose is already in the right place. This we don't care about. We don't care about this. This was made public. Why? I don't think this needed to be public. Private. Yeah, cool. Over the wire challenges. Huh, haven't heard of this. Oh, it's a capture the flag kind of thing? Got it. Yeah, web hacking stuff. Yeah. Almost 10-hour stream, man. That's nuts. I would not be hanging around in someone else's stream after 10 hours of being on my computer and being on. But yeah, I hope you learned a lot. It sounds like fun. Or I don't know, got bounty money. I don't know if it's for learning or if it's for a competition or something. I think those sorts of things are much more popular in the last, I don't know, 5 years than they were ever before that. I think it's really helpful. Brain is a bit slow. Yeah, definitely. Very understandable that it would be that way. I stream for maybe like 6 to 7 hours per day. And even then I feel like, all right, I just got to go lay down. I either want food or to rest. It's learning like a game. I see. I was watching, I think it was Trash Puppy who was working on that. There was some game that she had loaded and I don't remember what it was called, but it looked kind of interesting. I like gamification in those sorts of realms. I dislike it in realms where they're just trying to get you addicted to something, but I think it really helps for learning. And then I think there's a limit to that. Looking at you, Duolingo. All right, so this should be deleted. Yeah. Walk animation system. This just needs to be in the right spot. Move this down to here. There we go. Shop keep. Don't care about this. What else do we have? Yeah, don't care about this. All right, well, a lot of the lines of code I added were just for the sake of debugging. So it's nice to be able to get rid of them. Oh, that's why I did this whole thing. Because of the storeroom. But this bug already existed. Which means... Wait, what does that mean? If 3 systems had this problem, then why did it not manifest in these other cases? Because we're not using signals. We manually set this back to nothing. Oh, wow. We found the one place in the game where this actually mattered. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so the problem from before is that we had multiple event listeners for one event. It was the old ones weren't being cleaned up. And the reason this didn't matter for something like this system is because this is a hash set. So if we add the same entity 400 times, it's the same as adding it once. And if we remove an entity 400 times, it's the same as removing it once. So it doesn't matter how many times you call that, other than for performance reasons maybe. But for upgrading a shop, that is not the case. If you upgrade a shop once or 400 times, those are very different results. Wow. Wow. So I don't even think we check any of this other stuff in right now. I think we just check in the error fix that I did, which is this, and this. Is there anything else that's part of this? Not that. This might be. Yeah, this is. Okay. Hey, Lily. And hey, Miko. I let go of a 5-year Duolingo streak a while ago. Felt very weird, but I'm happy to be free. Yeah. I was just talking to Ramy about this in the mentoring session. I think he was up to like 150 days, and he said, I just want to make it to 1 year. And I'm like, what stops you at the 1 year mark from wanting to make it to 2 years or 5 years? I was like, if you're not learning, if it's not benefiting you, you should just stop and not have the extra like 3 minutes per day. Have we discussed installing Husky for pre-commit formatting? I don't think we've talked about it. I'm very open to that. That's fine with me. Actually, we have Husky, don't we? Or do we have it for, I know I searched for the wrong thing. Do we have it for Jump Royale? Town, I don't care about this. I do care about this other thing though. And I guess this. So stage, this change, not that, and not that. Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, sounds good to me. Use ChatGPT to start creating a coding language, and it legit stole an open source GitHub language name. Maybe it independently came up with it. Have you thought about that? I recognize that it probably did not independently come up with it, but even for humans, this happens, right? Like two people invent something totally isolated. There was like no way they could have known about the other person's thing, and they just came up with something at the same time. I think there's an entire class of machine errors that if attributed to a human, you'd be like, oh, that's too bad, but humans make mistakes. And if attributed to a machine, you'd be like, that's not okay. And I think for driving, that's one of them. Any accidents that a machine causes, I think are going to feel different somehow from an accident that a human causes. Because I think everyone in any sort of really grief-inducing accident is looking for someone to blame. And blaming a machine really means blaming the humans that created it. So it's almost like the humans that created it are responsible for more accidents than humans on the road would be responsible for. But I'm probably opening a can of worms by saying all of this. All right, last load time. A field should not follow a property. Elements should be separated by a blank line, other way around. Those jerks, I know, sitting behind their cushy desk just causing car accidents. What's the problem with this now? A field should not follow. Are you kidding me? How many of these things? I want to just put in the right spot. Read-only fields should appear before non-read-only fields. This is just mocking me at this point. I also don't know how many of these are just stale errors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild and we're just going to relaunch Visual Studio Code. The word jerks was censored. That might be a setting on your side. You might need to actually change something there because it wasn't censored for me. All right, close this. Go open this up again. I mean, to be fair, if you do have a filter on, any sort of language filter, and it censors jerks, I feel like, yeah, that's okay. If you don't have a sensor on and it censors it, then I feel like that's definitely not okay. That is not a confrontational word. All right, where was I? Game saver, I think. Single line comment should be preceded by a blank line. That one's fair. This says read-only should appear before non-read-only. I don't understand why this is a problem, though. The read-only ones are before the other ones. Oh, wait. It was a stale warning before that. Oh, okay. Because it said originally this needs to appear before properties, which I guess it is, but then it still showed up even though... Okay, I just need to restart Visual Studio Code. Yeah, it used to be that just rebuilding would be all I need, but for whatever reason that stopped being the case. So last load time, I already kind of commented down here that we can't allow this too frequently. Maybe we just extract that into a function, can load. Yeah, sure. I think that's reasonable. Private static void can load game. We take this. If is loading, return false, return true, bool, put this in here, elapsed time also shows up here. So if not can load game, nope, I meant to take the original suggestion. And then just put a new line there. Okay, how's this look? Am I happy with this? Last load time. Loading, can load game, yeah. I like it. All right, any other changes that I need to keep in here? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, doesn't look like it. So fix critical bug. There was a problem where I wasn't removing delegates from ECS's on added to entity and on removed from entity. This wasn't a problem with the navigation system or the walk animation system because we only use those events to add/remove from a hash set, which can be called any number of times. But with upgrade shop system, one upgrade is very different from multiple upgrades. Not only that, but the reference that the system had to the town, but the system had already disposed references that caused an error exception to be thrown. Okay. Commit. Wait, why is that yellow? Must contain a null value. Yep. What a day. What a day. So what was I working on originally? Just saving the storeroom? That was it? I think we finished that. And then I think I just happened to notice a bug that had already been in the game and then got sidetracked by that for like 2 or 3 hours or something like that. Cannot upgrade a shop. Yeah, so this is done. And then it was save items. Yeah, we did that. Right? I'm pretty sure we did that. I just start the game. What does it show? Yeah, items are being saved. You can just keep loading them over and over. And if I save right now, it actually saves the positions of adventurers and which items they're holding. So it's all working. What a time. What a time. There, I pressed the upgrade shop button. Yeah, it worked. All right, let's check this in. Thanks, Apt. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So save data, this is, close this. Get all the items. What is this one? Load in the ones that we need. Yep. Looks good. What's this? Very, very simple. Cool. Don't care. This is fine. And this is fine. Yeah, cool. Whew. Save storeroom items. Or maybe persist storeroom items in a saved game when saving the game. Yeah. All right, next up. Items that are in shop displays. Yes. So how do we test this? Well, now how do we test? I guess first let's just do the thing. Town save data has storeroom save data. We need shop save data, but we have 3 shops. And I need to reload these shops correctly. We also don't save how many items displays you have, which items are in the display. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is just save shops and then get their item displays back. Someone who doesn't really know much about coding at all, would you recommend taking a course for computer science at a local college or trying to become self-taught? I always kind of say the same thing for this, which is it comes down to what academic structure do you thrive in? If you are good at teaching yourself and staying motivated, then I would say try that out. There are Harvard and MIT lectures for CS, and they're very, very good. So give a few of those a shot. And if you feel like you're learning and you're able to follow along, then great. If that does not appeal to you, if you find yourself lacking the motivation or you're not learning or you have questions, you can't ask them, then yeah, I would say a course is probably a good idea. Also, you don't need to self-teach through like college lectures. I guess you could also just self-teach by, typing in like Python tutorial or something. Still, the same thing applies, which is, some people do that and they get a weekend or something and they're like, I'm not really piecing this together. I'm not really all that motivated anymore. And at that point, that's where having other students, having a professor, those sorts of things can really help. But yeah, there are a lot of resources out there and a lot of free resources too. Like I said, those MIT and Harvard lectures are, for whatever reason, they're just free. Let me see, Harvard CS lectures. Yeah. Making sure I'm not making this up. Yeah. Yeah, also they're surprisingly high quality. I mean, I guess you would expect that from Harvard and MIT, but they're free. Like, usually free and super high quality don't go hand in hand. Yeah, and good luck, Billboard. All right, I'm feeling a little like I don't want to do this part right now, but let's think about it. Maybe it's not that hard. So saving the shop, first of all, how do we make the shops? Do we start with them? No. Well, we might. What's in here? Shops. Yes, we start with the shops. So that means that every time we recreate this scene, it's going to get the shops back in the game. But they won't have their item displays. And the only way we'll know this is by saving which shop is which. So we're probably going to want some kind of like, I'll plan this over here. I got shop save data. We need to know which shop. There is the shop keep component. What do you have? What do you have? You have just number of quests available. All right, well, I mean, we saved the storeroom. The storeroom was just return a new storeroom save data. Each shop could be the same thing, but it needs to know which shop it is. I guess we have an item category. Yeah, okay. Just save the item category. All right, I'll try to do this. But like I said, I'm running out of steam, so let's see how far we get. Shop save data. So we want the item category. And that's not an int. I think it's actually an item category. Yeah, and then let's not even have the items yet. Maybe we will keep track of a level. Where is the level saved? Current level. Okay, let's save that in there too. Public int level. So that's our shop save data. Now each shop can have a function to get that, to probably match the name of whatever we had over here. Public save data. Yeah, let's put that over here. Shop save data. Okay, level equals current level, and item category equals, does it know, oh, we have that. Of course it knows. And eventually we're gonna want this, so let's just leave that commented out for now. All right, so that's the save data. Now we need to be able to load the save data in. Where is that? Storeroom load. Copy this whole thing. Add num item displays. We have add item display. This would have to follow the same pattern that we did for the storeroom, which is checking to see if we're loading. We're not doing quest stuff yet, so we can just ignore that. Yeah, so this, for example, we can say if we're not loading to add in an item display, and if we are loading, then we'll handle it here. All right, so got it. So get rid of this. I don't care about that right now. And then set the item category. No, we don't even need the item category in here. And this should have said shop save data. All right, now for the town. Town needs to save all of this stuff. So we find save, shop, save data. Oh, that's not how this works. It's a list of shop save data. Oh, we don't even have it in here. I never added it. This should probably say all shop save data. Yeah. So all shop save data equals. This actually does work. Is there a way that we get all the shops? Set up shops. What do we have that gets shops? We don't. We just always get nodes with a component shop component. Cast it to shops. Feel like we should probably make something private. Enumerable. Shop. Get, yeah, sure, get shops. Okay, now this goes over here. This isn't needed. Cast to shop. This happens here too. Get shops. Any others? This. All right, hang on one sec. My phone is ringing. Give me a sec. Okay, update. My friend is no longer coming over. So I guess I can stream for a little longer. Although it doesn't change that I'm running out of steam, but let's, like I said, let's keep going, just see where this takes us. All right, any other calls to this cast? No. All right, this to list, yeah, I guess this is needed. So that's all the save data. Now we need to load this. So we do for each shop save data. Shop's that first of the item category and then load it. Okay, so technically this works. Yeah, technically it works. I don't love it, but yeah, it's on loading. It's O of n, n is 3. It's not a big deal. So how do we test this? We give ourselves money, and then we upgrade this shop a few times, this shop once, and this shop not at all. Save and load. Looks good to me. Let's try it with a fresh state. It should be 4, 2, and 1. 4, 2, and 1. Yeah, perfect. Are they all usable? Oh, wait, darn it. I can't do it that way. All right, let's try that again. We need to upgrade the storeroom, but not the shops. Upgrade storeroom, and then grant a bunch of items, add some workers. All right, as long as they use all the different displays, I think we're good. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. What's going on here? Making a game called Skeleseller. You just kind of saw the gameplay there. It's mostly about selling items in a town, but the way you get the items is with automated battles. And when you have more adventurers, you can have multiple battles going at once. I know I'm blocking one of these. And yeah, with the sales that you get, you can upgrade your adventurers. There's a very like small skill tree. I mean, there are only 4 skills you can put points into for right now. This might get expanded slightly, but it's not going to be like one of these sprawling, 40 skill points kind of thing. There are just a few. Let's wait for this battle to finish. So let's not wait for it to finish. Let's just click win all battles and then start a new one. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very excited about launching the next checkpoint of this game and seeing what people have to say. Because there will have been a lot of work that will have gone into checkpoint number 2. I feel like checkpoint number 1 just seemed easier. But it's nice seeing stuff come together. Mage is definitely overpowered. Wow. I've tried loading the battles active. I haven't actually. I think it'll just wipe them out and everything will just carry on as normal. Yeah, it just wipes them out. I don't think there's a problem or anything. Yeah, I'm intentionally not saving battles though. So yeah, you can start, you can load and it won't do anything. This does mean, and I recognize this, right now there's the cost of doing battle is 0, but in the future there might be a cost. Maybe it's, $50 enter the starter instances and $500 enter the later ones. And that means you just lose that cost if you were to load from your save. So yeah, that would kind of suck. At that point, maybe we should save them. But there's no cost now, so it might still feel bad, but it won't feel as bad. All right, now we need to start saving off items. So how many items displays you have? Next is which items are in the displays. That can be the same way that we did it for storeroom. Those listeners are not the same. Are there even listeners in here? I think they're listeners to non-static components, so there should be no references to them anymore. Like everything got cleaned up, and the garbage collector knows how to handle islands. Like if you have node A and it points to node B, and B that points to A, but nothing points to either of these, then the whole thing should be cleaned up. All right, so storeroom save data. Gonna take these items, plop them over into shop save data. This is definitely concerning. This is another one of the reasons why we should just eventually have proper entities everywhere, because we wouldn't need to save any of this stuff specially. We would just load it all the exact same way. Is it the only static class with events? I think so. If we search for a public static class, we have ones that just have data. So this doesn't have events. So far, yeah, no events. No, this is constants. That's fine. Yeah, this is the one we actually looked at. This is fine. These are just extension methods. Fine. And display positioner. Oh, we only have like 10 more of these to look through, so I guess I'll just finish. Fine. What's this one? Fine, yeah. Fine. And fine, yeah, everything's good. Yeah. Yeah, those were the only one. That was the only one. You know, I feel like it would probably have been really daunting to launch a game back before you could provide online updates. What was the last system that even was like that? Like GameCube, maybe? I feel like PlayStation and Xbox prioritize online stuff sooner. So they probably had game patching sooner. So maybe it was like Wii era games. When did the Wii launch? Like 2009? 2006. Yeah, so it was probably hard to launch games before 2006. Because then you need to make sure you didn't have any bugs, or else you shipped physical games, and then there was no recall of the games. You just had to ship new versions of the games. I guess that's why you had a totally different testing setup too. Now, it's like worst case scenario. Let's say you shipped a game with a game-breaking bug. You just patch it. And some games have had to do that. I mean, even AAA games. Some games never even fixed their bugs and still shipped with them. Still AAA games. Universal Hardware made it easier. I don't know if that actually made it easier. I feel like regardless of what platform you're on, you can end up with bugs. I think it's the ability to patch them afterward that probably just made it less daunting. Because if you think about it, there was well, I was going to say there was more expertise around your specialized hardware back then, but I guess that might not be true. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess if you were working with the N64 and you had to deal with like very limited VRAM or something, and you didn't know how and you were used to other platforms, or it wasn't an issue. Would you ever help a viewer get Steam inventory service working? You mean from a code perspective? Probably not while I'm streaming, but if you ask on Discord, I might be able to answer a question. I haven't actually ever made a Steam inventory, and I haven't done it for this game, and I'm not totally sure I want to. So I might not be able to even help, but maybe somebody else could or something. But by the way, in this case, we might be talking about two different things by help. By help, I mean like answer a question or two, or maybe like given, 10 to 20 lines of code, spot a problem, that sort of thing. I don't mean like actually code something. Yeah. So yeah, if you post a code snippet or something, I don't know. Is that bad link? I didn't even click it. Made you buy the game again to get the patch and improved version? Yeah, that's all you could really do, right? Also, even with something like the GameCube, which technically had internet, it was like 3 games that used it. So nobody actually had the modem. Those were tough times for game developers. All right, so now we save this stuff. I did not save the items yet though. So let's go do that. So here we don't have a get all item displays, do we? Item displays node, get filled or empty, get item display. Oh, we do have an item displays. Wow, never put that in the other one, huh? Oh, because shop component has it? Interesting. All right, well, whatever. That's all we need to do. Get item displays. Select item display item. Sounds good. Now we just plug in items. All right, trailing comma, sounds good to me. And then down here, we do the exact same thing that we already had. Get item displays to list. What does return? A collection. Can't convert to a collection. Then go through each one and set. Okay, so this might work. There's something that came up as I was doing that where I thought I should change this, but I've already forgotten. So who cares? No, that's fine, lazy. Most people will just block links anyway. All right, so how do we test this? We need an item to be in here, but not for a customer to have gotten to it. But customers move pretty fast. So what if we just didn't have customers? Yeah. What if create customer did nothing? Oh, I remember what I was going to do now. I was going to put items over here, which I already had, so there was nothing I needed to do. All right, so now there are no customers, which means if I grant items, so we have 2 axes. I want it, whatever, I want it to be different, but I guess it doesn't matter. So it's gonna get over to here. I'm gonna hit save. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna load. And that way we, ooh, this is broken. Oh, it's broken because the save data doesn't contain items. Where's my save data? Hey, Ski, how you doing? Good to see you. Here's storeroom data. All right, so we need to put this into shops. The first shop is level 4, which means we need 4 items. The next shop is level 2. And the next shop is level 1. All right, that should work. Let's go try that out. Close out of the many instances of this we have running. Oh boy. Just hanging out. Good to see you too. Yeah. I was just thinking about how you used to stream and I wrote the limerick about Breath of the Wild. Oh, that's why. I was playing my nonograms game yesterday and I found, where was that? Let me see if I can find this YouTube video. Breath of the Wild. Yeah, this. It's like a 2-hour long video. I'll link this in chat, although no one has to watch it, but it's a pretty good video about the music of Breath of the Wild. I mean, it's just an orchestra playing it. I gotta say there are some tracks where it's like I would rather they would have just omitted them. They're more of the like you're fighting an enemy kind of thing, and I like the more relaxing orchestral music. But yeah, I was thinking about how Ski almost didn't play that game. And I thought, remember when I suggested to Ski that he play Super Metroid and then he didn't like it? All right, cool. So we loaded this. Now I'm going to grant items. And let's see. Good and save and load. Nice. So it loads with the items. And if I say grant most things and load, yeah, nice. Hey, Memphis. How you doing? All right, now I want to grant items again. We're going to get a cloak in there. Game looks really cool. Thanks. Yeah. Let me just increase the speed of this. All right, now I'm going to restart the game entirely, and we're going to make sure that it loads correctly. And hey, try something. All right, nice. Yeah, it's loading the items. Now, the question is, can customers buy these? So now it's time to welcome our customers back to town. And see. Haven't had the chance to watch this new project. Oh, yeah. Well, welcome back. Yeah. Botland, RIP. All right, the customers can go buy it. Nice. And does my money go up? Yeah, everything should be fine. Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, this save system has been quite a lot of work. And I feel like it shed some light on a few things that I would kind of want to change, but only idealistically. I think practically it's not worth changing some of this stuff. As an example, shop save data has a list of items, and storeroom save data has a list of items. Like it just shouldn't be there. It should be somewhere common, and there already is a system set up for common stuff. And I have a note to myself to do something about this, and I just never did. It's just not worth it. I feel like this is development in a nutshell for a small team, actually even for a big team. You have more tasks than you have time, and it's just not worth spending the development time. Like it might take 2 days to fix all this stuff up. Okay, now how many quests are available is something I should do. Like I said, running out of steam, but I want to finish. Okay, how about this? Let's check in what I've done, and then let's tackle some of the really easy tasks just so the list gets smaller. That's a good plan, right? Man, this stupid stuff. I gotta figure out why this happens. The UIDs just like randomly change. Fine, I'm gonna check this in. Change UIDs. This is yet another automatic change from Godot. There. That wasn't even really a commit. Okay. looks good. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. What is this? Why were there two of those? Oh, I see. I forgot I refactored that. Yep, looks good. Looks good. And looks good. Cool. Save some shop information. I'm not saving quest stuff yet. Isn't it also a learning process? I also put myself in that position. And after I refactor, I kind of learned to write better code. I think it is, yeah. I think it's a couple of things. I like very, very strongly believe in you ain't gonna need it. In that why code for some requirements you don't have right now. So part of it is learning, and part of it is when you finally do need it is the time when you need to code that thing. So I think in this case, it was a little bit of a mixture of both. It's like we didn't have a save system, so there really wasn't any major problem here. And then I added the save system, and now it's like, oh, I have to write the same code twice. I think the important thing, and I think this is what's nice about software, is that you're never really in a state where you can't do anything about it. It's just a question of how long will it take. I guess that's probably true of the real world too, but like imagine if you built a theme park and then you're like, oh, we want this 10 feet to the right. It's like, well, you're not going to destroy the entire theme park, recreate it. And I guess to some extent, there's a software equivalent of that example where building something 10 feet to the right is a massive undertaking. It's like you have some name of a variable that you just can't undo at some point. It's in too many places. So now I can tackle some of these. Some of these should be very, very quick tasks. Like this one for sure is quick. This should take no longer than 10 seconds. Don't make a fool out of me, computer. Don't you do it. All right, it took 10.6 seconds. But it didn't do anything. So yeah, we're done. Make a type out of this so we can refer to that everywhere. Yeah. Controller support isn't great, but redoing it from the ground up is a massive undertaking. Yeah. Yeah, although controller support can be pretty important for some gamers. I just read somewhere, I forgot whose game page I was on, but they said, oh, the controller support isn't easy or isn't there or something. And they're like, they just gave a negative review. So I guess if you're seeing negative reviews as a result of something, then it's like, okay, there's a real world impact. But even then it comes down to, yeah, what's the cost of doing this thing? All right, make a type out of this. We only use this in 2 places, but I still think it's worth doing. So we should make something like entity save data. We have all this other stuff, town save data. So I'll just save this as entity save data. That exists? What am I doing? Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess we call this all entity save data. And it's not even really all that important. Yeah, it's not really that important. I think I'm just going to delete this. Okay, see if we can delete these. What would it take to delete these? Okay, I see. We can't. Yeah, the short answer is we can't delete this. At least not add component because of how we load in entities. Is this going to work on Windows? Yeah. One small thing it doesn't. Well, 2. You don't have an on-screen keyboard for entering server names and passwords. I see. Yeah. Is there a paste button at least? That could be an easy win. Because I find that that's one of the most tedious things is when a game doesn't let me paste and then I have to manually type a password. All right, load entities. This calls add component somewhere. Here. Yeah. You need to use your keyboard for it? Okay, yeah. I was going to say, on a lot of web forms, there's a copy button, especially for code blocks or something. So yeah, having a paste button could be something your players appreciate. So yeah, we have no way of calling. Oh, actually, can you? No, you can't. Yeah, we have no way of calling add component at runtime, this function at runtime, with a loaded component because we don't know what the type is. Which is why I wrote this version. So it sounds like we need to refactor them. Man, it sounds like I'm gonna have to spend another day working on this, is what it really sounds like. Can't get rid of add component because we don't know the type of the component we're adding at runtime. I mean, I guess we do, but C# call generic function with type of, is that a thing? I think they just said this isn't possible. Oh, what? Make generic method. Oh, it's a reflection thing. Yeah. Actually, maybe that's a good idea to do. Get method generic. Did make generic method type of int. We only need this for loading. And if loading takes an extra, like I said, 5 milliseconds, I don't care. All right, I'm torn on this. Let's just copy a link to this for right now. Maybe able to do something like this though. Not able to implement a version that takes type instead of generic. I did implement a version for that. I just wanted to know if I could delete that version. Yeah. Okay, manifest a constant for this. Yeah, reflection lets you do a lot of stuff. It's generally not the fastest for everything. That's why I was saying I don't care about the performance for loading. Also, of all the things in a game, saving and loading are generally things where if you do see a progress bar, you're not like that upset by it. I think there are other cases in a game where you get annoyed by a loading screen, like switching from one area to another area. But yeah, when it's loading a saved game or something, you're like, yeah, this will take some time. All right, so this just exists in 2 spots. It should just be a constant. All right, we're gonna put this here. Public const string town scene path equals that. The main game scene that we load. Yeah. And now just replace that here and here. And that's it. That's that change. Should be pretty simple. Make constant out of path. By the way, I am now a Godot contributor. I want to show this. I mentioned the other day, oh, it hasn't actually been merged yet. I mentioned the other day that I found something confusing in the documentation, so I submitted the fix for it. And they were like, looks good. And slapped a gold star on my head. Congrats, clap. I mean, it's not that big an accomplishment, but still, I feel good about having, I saw something that was wrong and I actually fixed it. And I've got a little bit more that I want to do. Documentation is way easier to change because you don't need to rebuild anything or really do anything special. It's just like, did you fix a typo? Great. But with the game engine itself, there was a problem I wanted to at least file a bug for, but I don't know about writing the fix for it. So consider an onload game that resets the state of everything, so I don't need explicit function calls. Oh, a signal? I already have that. Yeah, I'm going to delete this. Town's adventurers node can be saved off because it's used in 2 places now. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Private node, adventurers node. All right. Now we duplicate this, put this here, delete it entirely and put it into ready. That was intentional. Then delete this and this. There. Might as well test the game again. Yeah. Looks good. Just click a bunch of buttons now. Yeah. I want my rogue to do maximum damage. None of those are the rogue. There it is. Look at that. Super fast maximum damage. 34, 34, 34. Just win the battle in like 5 seconds. Nice. Extract variable, or like remove duplicated fetch call. Okay, done. Consider setting a custom save location. Mine saves by default in this. I don't care for right now. Call deferred should be a name of run game. Actually, all call deferred things should do something like that. Name of run tests. As long as the game still works, I think we're fine. I really want to add in the adventurer graphics. Quickie Joe is done with all 4 of them already, and we just haven't put them in the game. But they look great. This is the rogue. Whoop, there we go. And I apparently don't have any of the other ones to show you. They're all on Discord, so I would need to like go fetch them, which I guess I could just go do really fast. Game team. This is the cleric. Then the mage. And the warrior. I was going to say I'll open these up in GIMP so that you can see without the pixelation. All right. Where did it go? Here. Yeah, so cleric, warrior, and mage. But I really like them. I think they're great. Yeah, mage looks cool. Cleric looks cool. Warrior looks cool. And they look, I guess, kind of similar to some of the customers too. I got to eventually probably differentiate with names or something like that. Hey, Schwartz. All right, what else can we do? Do we have any other call deferred that doesn't use name of? No. Use name of instead of hard-coded name. Set life of adventurer battlers to 100% when they join a battle. Actually, this may not be a good idea, but I don't see why we shouldn't do it. We have a full list of classes somewhere. We have a full list of the ones that exist because it's only 4. It's these. But as far as the other ones, they're just undesigned. There's probably going to be like a berserker class. There's probably going to be a summoner class. Maybe probably 2 of these. There's, what else did I think of? Maybe another like tank class. And that would put us at 8. I want to try to get to 15. Probably another healer. Okay, Life of Adventurers battle system. Somewhere there's the, yeah, create. So here's the health component. So we're going to say health component equals get dot clone, and then restore to full. Set max life. Is it what? Does health component not have a full heal function? Huh. It doesn't. Wait, really? Oh, I guess clone technically does that already. In fact, clone doesn't even clone properly. Oh man, I never thought about that. Clone needs to set your current life as well. Health component cloned equals this. Cloned dot life equals life. Return cloned. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a proper clone before this. Okay, well, if we have insta-kill, I'll just put this right next to it. Public void full heal, or heal to full, or restore to full. Heal to full. Yeah, life equals max life. And then we can put a call here to that. Yeah, that looks good. All right, now let's call that from here. So health component dot heal to full. There. Technically, we were already always starting a battle with full life, but that was by accident. Yeah. So we fixed a bug. Fixed two issues. One, cloning a health component didn't clone the current life, and starting a battle didn't ensure you were at max life. Take care, fix it. Thanks again for the raid. Hope your future web hacking goes well. And that you get some good sleep. 10 hours of streaming, jeez. Set life to 100%. Okay, cool. Write a function to remove all children of a Godot node. I end up writing that a decent amount. Do I end up writing that a decent amount? I guess if we just search for get children, we'll find them all. This is not to remove them all. This is interesting. Okay. No, I do not end up writing that a lot. Yeah, I wrote that once. So no, I'm not going to do this. All right, this is in character selector. This is a really simple thing. We just go over to here and we turn this into 2 square brackets, and then we say we fixed an issue. Simplify collection initialization. Probably iterate backwards. Component holder. Is there a reason why I didn't do this? We copied these. What are components? They're a collection, so it's a list. So then we can random access. Yeah, for int. Should know what I want. Components I. I don't know what I was just doing, but yeah, sure. There. Now we don't need to do a copy here. Let's go try it out, see if it still works. All right, what are we doing? We're just clicking buttons. If the buttons break things, then we know there was a problem. Speed up the game. Add some workers, some customers. Start some battles. Yeah, it looks like everything's fine. Oh man, the cleric is so bad at dealing damage. There we go. Start a level 3 battle. Well, well, well. Cleric's actually helping this time. Oh, warrior died. Uh-oh. I lost. Because I don't have skill points in anything. We gotta put some points in these things. Yeah, now we're gonna win. Wait, there's no cleric in that battle. There we go. Now we're gonna win. Yeah, now we're like full life. Can't beat the cleric. Okay. So this is remove copying of components by iterating backwards. We don't need to worry about. Do we run into any issues with that? No, I don't think so. Copying the components first. Does this link to an issue? It doesn't. I might link to the issue in here. There's another thing I did for Godot. I put my code here so that anyone searching for this open issue will find code that will just fix it for them. Yeah, this is really simple. I'm just going to put a chref equals this. See this for more information on why this exists. Without this, vectors serialize as an empty object. Oh my God, can't put parentheses around this. Oh, thanks, 19. More bits. We're at 200 this week, I think. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good weekend too. I think this was a very good week in terms of productivity. We've gotten a lot done. Oh, I haven't filled in the journal for today. Although the journal looks pretty much the same. Skeleseller every single day. Worked on the save system some more. There was quite a lot of work, and I hit a bug where I'll just say where a listener was being called on a disposed object. That was tough to track down. Emoji. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, next week, I know I've been mentioning this earlier and possibly on Discord, but for anyone who hasn't heard, I'm going to be doing a couple of interviews. One is with another streamer, Mel, Juicebox Hero, and then 2 weeks from today is with Sharon Lowe, product lead at GitHub Copilot. So, and by the way, not only is Mel a Twitch streamer, she works at Twitch. So I think they'll be very interesting interviews. And then I've got to probably figure out some more at some point. So I should probably write that down. Figure out more interviews. Probably schedule them for late August or early September. Good. We need the same thing over here. Although actually I never tested it with vector 2i. I probably should have. Oh man, I don't want to do this. All right, let's do it quickly. So we go to this and we get rid of, oh, not even this, what is it? Game saver. And we get rid of the converter for vector 2i. So that's gone. And now we make any save data, town save data, it doesn't matter. We just add in a public vector 2i testeroni equals new. There. All right. I don't care about it being private or whatever. Then we save the game. So load and then save. And then we see what it looks like. So we go to our save, JSON, it's not open. Testeroni, that's not even there. That might be due to a different problem. I don't know. Get set. Do not declare visible instance fields. What? What am I? What? What does that mean? Convert to full property? Huh. Interesting. Why isn't that serializing? Is it because I'm not ever defining it? I don't know. I'll try this. And if this doesn't work, then I'm not sure. But I think what's going to happen is it'll serialize as a blank object. Did it work that time? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, and it's a blank object. Okay, cool. Well, that confirms my hunch. So now we can delete this line. And this line. And this line and this line. And just put this comment over here on vector 2i as well. 2i converter. So without this, vector serializes empty objects. See this for more information on why this exists. Looks good. Add comments. I wanted to explain the existence of vector converters. Vector, yeah, here. Mark components that I want to serialize, we're done with that. See if I can change how is loading is used. File dash obfuscate. If I serialize components, I should probably store them with an integer ID instead of mapping name to class. What? What am I doing right now? Oh, I'm storing them as names. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a bad idea because in the future, I mentioned this the first time around, but if we renamed health component to life component or something like that, we'll just break save files. But if we manifest some IDs and then we make sure that we're very careful about changing them, which we could just be careful about changing names, but I think you're less in the know about changing those. I think the IDs would be better. Yeah, so okay, I think this is a task worth doing, but not now. Yeah, that's fine. Figure out what to do about collision. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. This is a really, really obscure problem that might never happen. But imagine if, for example, I'm like, you know what? This needs some sprucing up. Let's put some trees here. And then someone had save data where their character was saved where a tree will be. Then we need to detect that they're now stuck in a tree. Or make sure they spawn in a different place. The most important part by far is having a version number at the top. Yeah, but you still need to be aware that you even broke something. And I have it written somewhere to put a version in here. Yeah. I haven't done that yet though. Saving and loading, load out of game saver because it's not a function like that. Yeah. I want the converters, save data classes, etc. to be in a save folder. Have a set spawn point. Yeah, there are lots of things you could do for this. Option number 1 is a set spawn point. Option number 2 is some kind of like collision detection on load. And option number 3 is like an unstuck option the player can use. Some games do that. I don't really think there's anything else we could really do. Yeah, I'm not sure what else we could do. Then you just document what changed in each version and make a migration function. Yeah. Yeah, once you've figured out that you made a problem, yeah, then making a migration I think is ideal for it. I guess what I'm trying to say though is with a save that's connected directly to the game, it's a little less obvious sometimes what stuff will affect the saves as opposed to when it's in a database with like proper migrations. Instantly kill the player and wipe their inventory. Yes, that is a good option number 4. Actually, I guess option number 4 is just never add trees to the game. Done. Yeah, I think we'd probably use this. And we have the ability to do this. In fact, I added something in entity save data. I put a position in here. If I just didn't put this position in here, it wouldn't matter. Everything would spawn from that portal. Let me make sure that's even the case. We should probably just do that, right? Did I write anything about that? Yeah, figure out what to do about collision. So I think just use a set spawn point. Use a set spawn point. Or just don't worry about it for right now. Where do we load this in? Entity factory, I think. Yeah, this position. Yeah, so if I just delete those, everything should spawn from the portal anyway. Yeah, when I load, they spawn from there. And that's guaranteed to work. Yeah. Oh, no, I know what you mean, Dandy. I was just saying that I think that they're both migrations that you're suggesting. I think that the database way of doing migrations, you think of things in terms of your data layer a little differently. But I'm making a point that doesn't matter, so I think we're on the same page. I like the colorful color scheme that's being used. And I think this is supposed to be a laid back, casual game. So I think the colors help communicate that. I mean, imagine if this had like super dark graphics or something and it was like, yeah, you're just supposed to play for 10 minutes and have fun. And oh, the code. I was like, the game is pretty colorful and it does kind of look like Fisher Price stuff. Yeah, I like the colors. I've gotten used to them though. So yeah, the question is, do we want to use a set spawn point? Do we want to wait until there's an issue? Do we want to try something? Actually, you know what? Set spawn point is just the easiest. So yeah, let's do that. Let's just delete this stuff. We'll delete it from entity save data 2, position, which means now we're not even serializing those vectors, which means we don't need the vector converters. There should be a problem somewhere in the code base. Where is it? Oh, I need to write this here. Either way, delete the to-do comment above add component. Oh, what was I just about to do? It's saving an entity, game saver, entity factory. Does it have saving in here? No. Where did I put that? I guess we could just search for entity save data. Oh, here it is, yeah. There. That should solve the problem. The code is far more colorful than the game. Well, I'm glad you at least think the game looks good. I don't really care what people think about the code. At least not the colors of the syntax highlighting of the code. Does it hurt to still save the data and just not load it in case you want to load it in the future for some reason? I don't think it hurts exactly, but given that it's already in the git commit history and I could revive it pretty easily, I think it's probably best to just omit it. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh, where is this being used? Why isn't this loading? And then I realize, oh, I just save it and don't load it. So yeah, now if I load, it works. If I save and load, it works. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's check that in. Stop saving positions. This technically makes the vector converters useless, but I'll probably serialize a position in the future. So I'm removing the positions in case we ever modify the collision of the town. We wouldn't want someone loading their save and having a character be stuck forever. How do I like C# versus Godot or GDScript? I like C#. I had some problems with Godot that I was bothered by. Let me find this link. Yeah, this. Why not GDScript? So it's this stuff. Hey, Mr. Britt. It is a Corn keyboard. It's only got 36 keys. So you need to think very differently when you're typing with it. Guess it doesn't have players playing it right now. It's just saying if this is a real save file, maybe better save the location rather than not have it. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, in case players will eventually need it for some reason. Yeah, I don't see much of a need because even in that case, if this were like, picture like Zelda, and you spawned in one spot every single time, and you're like, oh man, I have to either get myself back there or teleport myself, and it's like 15 seconds of loading time, that'd be really frustrating. But at least in this game, I feel like the positions don't matter too much. So yeah, even when people are playing it, I feel like we'll just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. Weird they broke so many things like batch rendering. I hadn't ever upgraded a project, or at least not with the intention of launching it or something. I guess just kind of coincidentally. So I don't know what the experience was there. But yeah, I think that's going to be one of the differences of like a for-profit company funded game engine and something like Godot. Although maybe not. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know about always 5 seconds, but probably something where you wouldn't care too much. And yeah, if it ever does get annoying, it's the kind of thing I would watch. Also, this is, again, another major benefit of the whole checkpoint system. I'm really hoping for July 26th to launch checkpoint number 2. And when we do that, we'll get a whole new wave of feedback. And if the feedback is something like I loaded and didn't like what loaded for whatever reason, either, we didn't save everything or there was a bug, then yeah, we could just address it after that. SP4 doesn't have a period. Oh, they still don't have it? Because I was going to say, it seems like batch rendering is working fine for me. Because I tried spawning like 400 workers one time and it looked like it was going very smoothly. Okay, I think we have... No, this is it. Storeroom should save off its item displays. Storeroom. This? I don't even think this is needed anymore. Okay, technically it is. Fine. Private. What is this thing? A node 2D. Node 2D. Item displays node equals null. Ready. Item displays node. There. 400 isn't very many. You probably wouldn't notice. Yeah, that's possible. Well, I hope it gets fixed. All right, so I just modified the storeroom. So as long as I load and everything's fine, yeah, I think we're good. Save off item displays node in storeroom. All right, so of the remaining tasks, what's tough here? I guess saving quest stuff, but I don't even know if I'm going to do that. Still haven't saved quest stuff. May want to wait until I've coded the new quest system. Yeah. Level up adventurers button isn't restored. It always says $10. That should be easy to fix, right? Level up adventurers. Text update. Why doesn't this work? I mean, we can fix it like that. That's pretty easy. But at that point, let's just copy all of this stuff over. Update hire adventure, update level up adventurer. Did the hire button work correctly? If I hire an adventurer, it says 450. I save and I load. Let's close the game and reload. I'm guessing this one works fine. Oh, wow, interesting. I guess it breaks if you load too quickly after starting the game. Strange. I probably need to fix that bug. Yeah, probably. All right, so what about level up adventurers? Save and load. No, that's broken. Didn't I just fix that? What does this do? Town.adventurer level. Did we set that correctly? Load. We never use it? Are you kidding me? We have adventurer level and we literally just never touch it. Well, would you look at that? We don't. So this isn't a bug with this thing. It's a bug with me just never loading the level. But wouldn't that mean you could get more skill points than you're allowed to have? How many skill points do we have? 9. I level up and it's still at 9. Why is that the case? Wait, did their power and stuff change? Let me take a look. No, the power not changing makes sense, but why do they not get extra skill points? I don't even know where this happens. Abilities component? No. Adventurer component? Yeah, number of available skill points. Where does this change? Skill tree, town. Where do we level up? Here. Number of available skill points plus plus. Something's wrong. Yeah, something's wrong. Did it show the level correctly? It says level 10. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I think it knows not to level this up, but it can't tell that the adventurer is at the max level because it never loaded an adventurer level. So this is presumably just never called because it knows we're at the max somehow. That's not even true. All right, I'm confused. We're going to debug. This is a totally made up problem, but I still want to figure out why it's happening. So we load in a game and then we click level up. And my adventurer, who should be level 10 already, should become level 11. So why does that not happen? Adventurer.getNode components has components. Do you have an abilities component? You do. It's not that though. I did that same mistake earlier. It is the adventurer component. There you are. Level 10, number of available points 9. Okay, so why is it not going up to level 11? Level is 10. Goes up to 11. Goes up to 10, yeah. Oh, because it throws an error? Yes, that's why, because it can't access the stats now. Okay, well, it's the same solution I already mentioned earlier. Why don't I use var? We just decided early on not to use it. The reason why is kind of silly, I think, a little bit. Like, it's not super cogent, at least, which is if you're ever just doing a code review, you can't tell what something is without tracking down its type. So let's say you saw this call, var, whatever, player equals get player. In the code in an editor, you could just hover over this and see what it is or look at Git player. But if you're looking at this in GitHub or if you're looking at it on my screen, then you can't tell what it is. And it's just a minor thing. I do think it's pretty easy to just type var everywhere though. All right, so we just got to load this in. Where do we save money? There it is. Even the AI knows it should do it. Okay, let's see if that's working. Load. Okay, so now it knows that I'm at max, although it does say $10, so that it clearly didn't fully work. Yeah, we gotta fix that. That is very simple though. Done. Now we run. Yeah, good. Now it's working. Restore adventurer level properly. I just wasn't even considering this value when I loaded a saved game. Also, the menu wasn't, well, let's leave it at that. Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, load in the adventure level, update the button. Done. Okay. So the list does not fit on one page still. All right. Customers, do we even want to save customers? I guess so. Battle state, I don't think I want to do. If I do save the battle state, I guess we can just save it kind of good enough. Like, let's say there was a fireball traveling toward the enemy. I don't really care if we don't save that. Character will just shoot another fireball. But I think there's quite a lot to a battle state that would make it tough to save. Saving the state of the instance is important, and it just may not be worth the effort. Loading, make sure prices are set correctly. Yep. Put a version in the save system. Yeah, I guess that's easy enough to do. We don't have we don't have a version now. But yeah, let's just put this here. Public static const int save version equals 1. Well, it should come before private. Yeah. All right, now when we save this, all save data can have a version, public int version. That's pretty good. Yeah. I guess we might as well try it. We don't read the version anywhere, but it's, and actually I guess not having a version is the same as having a version 1 in there. If you don't have a version, then you know it must have been v1. So I save the game and we go look at the save file, which is not open again. And there's version 1 in there. This is the save version schema, not the game version. Or we should call it save version. No, I don't think it matters. I don't know why we would save the game version. All we care about is the save version. All right, save a version number. This isn't being consulted yet by anything, but we'll almost certainly want it eventually when we make breaking changes to the save file. Yeah. File a task for all this work. Okay, what? So this is just file a task. That's not too bad. This is an actual task I need to do. Although, does this really matter either? I don't think so. Just file a task for this too. Customers don't really need to be saved yet. Yeah. Plant a tree on top of every character. Darn it, I got treed. I gotta buy a new game. That's how I'm gonna make a ton of money. Say money doesn't grow on trees, but adventurers do. A file, a task. Okay, see if we can delete. Yeah, so this I've got to put some thought into, and at the very least refactor. That's part of this too. This is like the last major remaining work. Because I'm debating, like, should I just do this stuff on Sunday? Oh, hey, if we're going to save this camera position, then those vector converters are going to matter. Am I doing overtime? I kind of am. My official advertised time is 1 to 4 p.m. I don't know. Have I been like hitting that lately? If you see mostly 3-hour streams, then yeah, I've mostly been hitting that. This is when I had just gotten back, right? And I was sick. See if I can change how Game Saver is loading. So manifest a component ID and save that. Maybe even make sure all serializable components have an ID. Although all of the components should probably have an ID. Then change the type discriminators to use the IDs instead of the names of the class. All right, this is going to be a little annoying. I'm not even going to do this right now, but whenever we make a new component, instead of just saving a new thing, we're going to also need it to pass in a... How do I do this? Let's just look at Fireball. Yeah, we need to do something like this, where we construct the base class with an ID. And it just means I'll have one extra file to modify. It's really not that bad. All right, well, I'm feeling pretty good. Also, this is that experimental feature in VS Code, the branch visualizer. I should probably publish this branch. Yeah, I should probably do that. No point losing all this. Did it work? I don't even know if that made it to GitHub. Yeah, it did. I didn't know if this would change. What does this do? Yeah, whatever. All right. Yeah, thank you, Ski. I'm really hoping that the feedback is good on the next checkpoint that we launch. And by the way, good feedback doesn't necessarily mean like it's all glowing reviews. It could just be that people give a lot of feedback. All right, we're going to go try to find someone to raid. Breadboard Studios. Okay, let's raid this person. Although are they streaming? What's going on in their stream? They have a countdown for 25 minutes. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, well, never mind then. Let's find someone else to raid. I just try to find people who stream in English and who have not been online for a super long time and that I have never rated before. And that is a dwindling list. Ending cutscene. Okay, let's raid this person. Wait, are they streaming English? Oh man. Okay, their whole chat is in another language. I'm gonna find somebody. Should not take this long. Also, I think after checkpoint number 2, I'm probably going to do a few music streams and try to get the music for the game. All right, I don't know. I'm giving up on this. Whatever. Let's host, let's raid Alcohol and Q. I just don't feel like spending time. Alcohol and Q is a good streamer. I feel like he is ADHD incarnate sometimes. But cool person. Nice streamer. I'm going to get going. Thank you all for watching. You know the drill. Have a good weekend, etc., etc. And yeah, I'll see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.